Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my video, and I'm having a pretty crappy day right now considering my car is not starting. I went to get some laundry done and drop off some laundry, got back to my car and try to start up, and nothing. It's not cranking. No, nothing. Well, it's not cranking. It's not nothing. I mean, I'm seeing lights on my dash, so a lot of things are working, but it's just not cranking over. So I've been spending like last hour, trying to figure out what it is. Well, basically last 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, and last 20 minutes, I'm just been waiting for AAA to tow my car. Well, the thing about it is, I went through a bunch of different, trying to diagnose the issue and stuff like that. So basically, all the lights work on my car. All the electronics work on my car. The lights work on my car. The fan motor works. I'm not getting AC obviously, but the fan motor works. Lights work. And I'm sitting in my car because I can't start up. It won't start up. Now, I can't say this is like the first time it's happened. I mean, recently, within like the last month, I've been having these situations where I've had to try to crank it a couple of times before I start up. I'd have to try to start it a couple of times before it would actually crank and start up. But every time, like after like 5 or 6 tries, it would actually start up. That was like the last time. First time this started happening was like a month and a half ago. Same situation. I parked my car, got into my car, tried to start up, and it wouldn't start up on me. Same scenario here, but 2 tries later, it started up. But it's been getting progressively worse. It's been getting progressively worse. So, but right today, I think it just died out on me. Really crappy. So, a lot of things went through my head when this happened. I was like, maybe the battery's dead. I don't know why the battery's dead, because I've been driving all day, so it should be charged up if it was weak or whatever. Maybe it's just weak. Maybe the battery's just weak. Maybe maybe I should have just changed the battery. But I changed the battery like about a year ago. So why would I have a dead battery? Regardless. I went out, checked this, turn on my headlights, went out, try to see whether my headlights were working or not, or whether they were dim, but they were like super bright. So I'm like, my headlights are super bright, all my electronics work. I'm like, what is the problem with this? But I couldn't actually rule out the battery completely. So I did manage to get somebody to try to jump my car, put some cables on it, waited for a couple of minutes before I try to start up. Try to crank it a couple of times, no crank, just a click. So all I hear is click. Every time I try to start it, click, no crank, just click. So I'm like, all right, so obviously at that point, I know it's not the battery, because I tried to jump it, it didn't work. Not the battery. Alternator. Could it be the alternator? No, I don't think it's the alternator. Basically, I've had situations where my alternator died out, and all of those situations I've been on the road. All those situations, 2 of those situations, which is the only 2 times where my alternator died out, that I've experienced with. Anyway, my car was running. I know for a fact that alternators die out when your car is running, for the most part. But if that wasn't the case, putting cables to the battery to try to jump it, if it was the alternator was dead, the car would actually turn on. But once you take the cables off, the car would actually die, which none of those things happened in this situation. So I'm going to rule out the alternator completely. I'm going to rule out the battery completely. Got those out of the way. So I'm like, all right, so the easiest fix is it wasn't working. I couldn't get this car fixed easily. So I'm thinking to myself, what else? What else could actually cause this to happen? So it could either be the fuse or the relay. Well, those are the next two up on my list as far as troubleshooting: a fuse or a relay. So I'm like thinking to myself, is it a relay? Is it a relay? And I doubt it's a relay because, you know, that click is actually coming from the solenoid. So I'm pretty sure it's not the relay. All right, it's not the relay, because the relay, the starter relay actually relays electricity from the from the battery to the starter, and if the relay was gone, trying to turn it on, you would not hear a click at all. You would just hear silence. So as long as you hear a click, it's not the relay. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so one last quick fix, a fuse maybe. So I've had two scenarios where the fuse blew out on me, and neither of those scenarios is similar to what I'm having situations with right now. So one scenario was the main fuse blew out that connects the battery to the fuse box, and that fuse was inside the fuse box itself. It blew out, so I was getting nothing. I was getting no electricity in the car. It's as if somebody took the battery out of the car, and I was trying to start it. Like nothing, no battery, nothing, no lights, no nothing, no electrics, nothing works, no cranks, nothing. But that's not the case here. Not the case here. So I could rule that out. The other one is I had a few situation where the fuse blew out, and I kept on cranking, and it wouldn't turn over. It'll crank up, won't turn over. So that situation was, I believe it was the fuse to the fuel pump. I think that was it. I think it was either that or to the ECU, the car's computer, fuel pump or ECU, whatever that fuse was. The car wouldn't, it wouldn't run. It would crank, turn over. Wait. It would crank, but it wouldn't turn over where, the car would run. That's not the situation here, because it's not cranking at all. This car's not cranking at all. So that's the situation. So I'm like thinking to myself, what? Okay. So this last situation, the last thing on the list that I could possibly think of at this point, is the starter. Now that wasn't like higher on the list because it wasn't higher on the list because I had this starter changed out about a year ago, maybe less than a year, maybe like 9 months ago, 8 months ago, I don't know. But I had it changed out, all right, recently, relatively recently, like 9 months ago. I had it changed out. All right, I had a starter issue, and all the same symptoms that I'm having today, but I was hoping that this wasn't the case, that it wasn't the starter, because I had the starter changed out. And apparently at this point, everything, I ruled everything else out. So it's got to be the starter, right? It's got to be the starter. You hear a click, and it's not cranking, nothing like that. It's got to be the starter. I can't think of anything other, but I can't test that. I can test it. I actually have a crowbar to bump it, see if it actually starts up one last time. It might, considering it's a new starter, if that's the problem. And the other test is I could actually put a wire from the battery to to solenoid. I think it's like the terminal on the solenoid, to try to jump it, to try to start it. And if it make noise, then I know that it's not the starter. But at this point, I don't have the tools to do either of those things. And I'm actually waiting for AAA to come in and pick up my car, and I'll figure that out when I get it towed back home. So the situation really sucks. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on this. I'm pretty sure at this point it's the starter. I was hoping it wasn't the starter, but I'm pretty sure it's the starter at this point. But stay tuned, guys. All right, all right, guys. What's up? So it was a starter. I did a couple of tests on it. After I got back home, I actually bumped it with a long crowbar, and it didn't start up. So I did actually put a wire from the battery to the terminal, the solenoid, That didn't start up. So at that point, I knew it was the starter. And I did change the starter out. It's working back to normal again. And the only thing about it is I didn't want to put the time into this. I really didn't. Considering I did get a replacement because there was a warranty on it. I did get a replacement for free, but that wasn't the point. I told the guy at the counter, these starters, they're supposed to last like over 100,000 miles, but but if you guys know anything about starters, or rebuilt, you guys know anything about rebuilt stuff, rebuilt starters, rebuilt alternators, you guys ever have experiences with that, you guys know that they don't actually rebuild all of it. They only replace the one single part that's broken. Every other part on that alternator starter actually has the same mileage that that was on the car when it was taken off, which is really crazy. But I actually went back, got another rebuilt starter because I didn't want to shell out $300 for a brand new one. And even a brand new one, you can't be 100% sure about that. So popped it in. It's working normally now, so I don't. It's working normally now, so that doesn't suck. But it sucked that I actually had to waste so much time. I had to waste so much time on that. Like not a lot of time, but I didn't want to take some time on my day to redo a part that was done 9 months ago that's supposed to last well over 100,000 miles. Sucks. It is what it is. I hope this has helped you guys out. If it has, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and please leave a comment, guys. Okay, take care.